Hello friends, welcome to the Java Puzzle. Today in this video we are going to continue our previous video where we will discuss about the Debezium, how to configure the Debezium, how to configure our PostgreSQL connector. Then we run our small demo over we will insert, update or delete some values in our PostgreSQL, and then we see how our Kafka is getting that details. So all these things we already seen in previous video. If you don't check that, so please check and then come back to this video, then you can understand how we are going ahead. So in this video we are going to implement our Spring Boot application and where we will integrate our Debezium. Okay, so as we add this swagger in our main pom.xml, because this is a multi-module, so in main pom.xml we added, so for the both of the application this swagger will work. So firstly what I will do, I will firstly create one configuration class for our swagger where we will give the different name for the master and for the slave, so we will not confuse in future when we will run both of the swagger to check our workflow, right? So firstly I will just create a master swagger config. Firstly it would be annotated with the configuration because this is a configuration class. Then firstly we have to create one bean, and inside this bean this would be returning group open AI custom open API. Okay, and it will return our grouped open AI builder dot build. And so what details we need to add here, we need to give the group name. Okay, so group, and here we will just provide our group name as a Debezium master PostgreSQL API. Then we need to provide our package to scan, and here we have to just provide our package for the controller. So it would be com.youtube java puzzle controller. So we are good here. Okay, now let's move to the other part. Same I will add for the slave also, so in future I don't have to create this, so I'll just copy it and paste here. I'll just change it to slave and rename the file also. Copy this. Okay, other thing is done, so let me close. Okay, now let me create a entity first. So let me minimize this and go in entity, create a class as a customer. Okay, and entity I'll add here. So inside it we just added ID, full name and email. Just for simplicity I am not giving the full attributes, just only these three values. Okay, just for simplicity, nothing much we are thinking here. Okay, because main thing is to connect our Debezium with the Spring Boot and fulfill our purpose to implement, to generate, create a master slave work. Okay, so after the entity let me create a repository also, and customer repository. So we add our customer repository. Now let's move, this is a simple one. Okay, nothing much we are doing here. This would be a simple application where we are just going to insert, delete or update our value. Okay, our customer details only, so nothing much is here. So you can also escape this, but I want you to come with the flow so you don't miss anything in between. So customer service, so inside this customer service we have a customer repository, then we auto wire this, then get all customer, get customer by ID, create customer, update customer, delete customer. So I'm not going to explain all these things because this is a simple one, simple example of any CRUD application using the Spring Boot. So I'm thinking you are already, if you are following this video, so you already know everything about this. So I'll just quickly create the customer controller. So now this controller, we have all these endpoints which call the service map. So we have a master services completed. So let me quickly open, let me check this PC admin is running over the 5051. So let me open pgadmin in the browser. Okay, so firstly I have to run the service again. So all are the started, fine. So all the pods are up. Let me check. So yeah, all the images running now. Let me open the PostgreSQL and add the given default username password. Let me copy this and copy this name, run it. Okay, so because it's restarted always, so I have to again configure the server. So Java puzzle connection would be Postgres Docker connect Docker and this name should be Debezium master given here. Debezium master, give it. Now in a Java puzzle we have a database which is a Debezium master. We have this schema and public. So in previous video we will create a customer table here, and then we will insert some data and check there, right? But in this video we are not going to create anything because this is a Spring Boot will take care of. Okay, so I'll just and one more thing, I'm also not going to configure any what we can say connector, Debezium connector, right? If you will see here in a none, because this is a get. If I will run this, so here you will see currently there is no any connector, right? Because we are not going to externally we are going to hit this. Okay, this will all thing will be happen in a through the Spring Boot. Okay, so for now we are good to go. Currently this is a simple application. We didn't do anything. We are not going to configure anything with the Debezium or Spring Boot here. Okay, because that will be happen in a slave service. So till now we are good, and let me run the application which will create a customer table for us. Enable the Lombok and okay, the resource is blank. Okay, so let me create here the application.property file and then add the details inside it. Okay, so it will run over the 9080, then Debezium master, docker, and if database is not exist, then it will create it. Okay, so let's save and run this application. So it's create the table here. Okay, now it's running. Now let me go to the browser, then let me check 9080 chat 9080 localhost 9080. So just change this to 9080. It's Swagger. Okay, and let me refresh it. So here our table should create it. The customer is here. Let me see if everything is working, then we will go ahead. Okay, so get API, currently nothing will be here. Okay, click on the post, try it out, just change it to Java puzzle author at Java puzzle.com, execute it. So data is here. Let me check the get API queue. So it's inserted and we can see here. Okay, and query also you can see the insert and select is running. Okay, so this is a basic part. Okay, where we implement our master service. Okay, and now the main part is going to start. So I just want your all focus should be here. This slave application, what is the purpose of this? So whenever the master service will hit some data in the DB in PostgreSQL DB, then this slave service will listen that topic which is created by the Debezium, and it will listen that topic and it will insert the data in the MySQL DB. So for this we need to create a resource here. So firstly I'll create one file which is a application dot properties and add the MySQL data. Okay, and in the pom.xml also I need to add. Okay, so I already added the MySQL dependency here. So application property is here. Now let me quickly create the entity class. Same entity I can copy because I'm just duplicate the data from the PostgreSQL to MySQL now. So customer, and let me copy the customer entity from here. Okay, so I'll just copy this and paste in the slave. Okay, so after the customer I need a repository, so I'll copy this repository also and paste here. This is also fine. Then I have a customer service, so I'll copy this service also. Okay, then this controller also I require, so I copy and okay. And for differentiating this, let me open this slave and this one would be the Debezium slave MySQL API. So let me quickly run this application and just see. In MySQL also I'm able to insert the data. So firstly I'll open my MySQL workbench, just connect it. So currently it's an old one, so let me drop this schema. Okay, now let me run the slave application. So our slave service application is start. Okay, so let me refresh it, and Debezium slave is created in the table. Customer is also created. Select row. Currently nothing is here. Okay, so I'll just open the Swagger UI for the slave one, which is running over the 9081. So here you can differentiate. This is the Debezium slave MySQL API, and this is a Debezium master Postgres API. Okay, this is a slave, this is a master. Okay, so let me insert some value first. So I'll just copy this post. Okay, copy this and try it out. Just for understanding, I'll just change it to Savan Kumar, then Savan at java. Execute it. It's inserted. Let the get API run, and data is here. And here also we can run this and we can see the data. Okay, so we are good now. Okay, our both of the services working now. Okay, what we have to do now, we have to implement our Debezium. So for this, let me open the just minimize it. Okay, so in slave service, in application property, because we have to listen the data Debezium connector topic. So this is the definition property for the slave data source. So this slave data source, which is a local host, it should be a not slave, it should be the master, right? So master. Okay, so this is a master data source which we are going to connect with the Debezium. Okay, this is a database Debezium master. You can check here in the source, in the resource. So here you can see anything change here. Why save? Okay, so I'll just close other tab and open this property from the slave. Here you can see this Debezium master, username, password. Okay, all thing we provided in the slave. Okay, localhost is the host name, then port, then database, username and password of the master table. Okay, so now we need to create a Debezium configuration class. Okay, so Debezium connector config. Okay, so in previous video we are hit the postman to register our connector, right? But this time we are not going to hit this postman, we are going to add the configuration. Okay, and through this configuration it will hit all the connector. So here I'll just create a bean first. Inside this bean we need to provide our configuration from the Debezium. So when I run this, when I write this configuration, so you can see configuration. So this would become okay. Currently this is not coming because we didn't add the Debezium property dependency in our slave. So let's go in a pom.xml and add the property as a Debezium version 2.4.0 final we are using here. And let me minimize this and let me add the Debezium dependency here. Okay, so Debezium API, Debezium embedded and Debezium connector Postgres. So if you are using for MongoDB or MySQL, so if I will remove it and control space, so you can see there is a multiple connector is present. Okay, so you can use anything. So for now, for this video I'm going to use this Postgres. Okay, now reload this. So after loading completed, then if I will control space it, now you can see in configuration there is a IO Debezium configuration. So I'll just click on it. Then here custom customer connector. Inside the parameter I'll just provide the environment from the here env, because we are going to provide the environment from the property file where we will define our PostgreSQL details. Okay, then I'll add the other configuration. So before adding it, so this bean annotation is commonly used in Spring framework to indicate that this method produce a bean to manage by the Spring container. So that's why we created this bean here, and in this case the method is responsible for creating a Debezium configuration bean. So this method is customer connector. Okay, and it take this environment as a parameter, environment object as a parameter. Inside this method, you can see we are using this IO debezium config configuration. Okay, this class is used to build a configuration for the debezium connector. Then we have this name, okay, where we will provide the connector name. As you can see here, this name is the which we provided in a previous video. Same we are doing here. Okay, then we have some other details like connector details such as a class, right? Then name, the connector class we provide here, PostgreSQL connector. Then we have the server ID, server name, then provided here. Then we have some database details, okay, which we are getting from the environment property, from application property of the slave application, which is the master data source host, port, username, password, and the data. Then we have a offset storage, this one, okay, offset storage detail using a file based storage mechanism. Then other configuration parameters such as the topic prefix, database history, and the publication auto create mode. Then we have some plugin name, then slot name. Okay, these are the some details. And you can see here I comment that these two lines. So if we will comment this, that means it will check all the changes in the all the table. Okay, and if we want to specify some table, then we can use this. So for now I'm just commenting it. Okay, I also provide the this whole code in the description section. The GitHub link in I'll provide in the description section. You can check out. Okay, and you can experiment with this two line. Okay, for now we're good here, and let me run the application and see what will happen. So I will rerun the master service. Master service is not required, but yeah, before doing this, I'll just remove this customer table. Okay, just delete it. Okay, so fresh details would be there, and same I will do for this one also. Drop the table. Okay, nothing would be here. Now let me run the both of the application and see what will happen. So run the master and run this, not in debug, but no issue, let it run in a debug only. So it's closing. What happened? Let me see. Okay, it's creating again. So slave service is currently running. Let it run first. So it's running. Okay, and yeah, it's started. And let me run the master. So slave is running here. Why it is, let me check. 9091 is running. This is a slave, and 9090, this is a master. So just to verify, let me try out this get API. So nothing is present here, and for here also try it out and hit it. Currently in both of the table we don't have any data. Now what will happen when I will hit this master PostgreSQL DB, then it will call the debezium connector, and the debezium connector will insert the data in a MySQL, and then we will fetch the data here, okay, in a slave. So let's me run this. So post, try it out and just delete it. Full name is Java puzzle as usual. Then we have a user at javapuzzle.com. So when I insert it, when I execute it, it's running here. Okay, so in PostgreSQL also, I'll just refresh it in the DB, customer DB. It's running here, no issue. Script, all the row. So data is here. Now let me see here in a get executed. Currently it's not running. So you can see here data is not inserted in the MySQL. Why? Because we are hitting here. Okay, it's calling our debezium. Okay, but we are not going to listen till now. Okay, so firstly we have to create in a slave. Let me create one more package which is a listener. Okay, inside this listener, let me create a class which is a debezium listener. Okay, this would be a component. Okay, and here, okay, so component. Then inside it, firstly, because it will run over the executor, so I'll just create private final executor. I'll create an object of executors and new single thread. Okay, I create one object here. Then we need to provide our Debezium engine also. So let me create a private final Debezium, and in Debezium you can see here is a Debezium engine, and inside it we need to provide our record change event. Okay, so this one would be a record change event, and this record change event is contain this source record. Okay, and Debezium engine, so what it is complaining at the constructor parameter. Okay, so I'll just add the constructor parameter inside it. Okay, then and we also need, because when we will listen this Debezium changes, then what we are going to do, we are going to insert in our table. Okay, so for that thing, I'll just add here the customer service also. Okay, so we will use, and inside it I'll just add this after this Debezium. So here, let me remove this first. Okay, we will not create here. Firstly, I will implement here the configuration from the Debezium. Okay, configuration, which would be not configuration, be customer configuration. Okay, and the other thing, I'll add this customer. Copy this. Okay, so for this, I'll just this dot customer service is equal to customer service. Okay, so this auto while is fine. Now the next thing is we need to provide this Debezium engine. Okay, this is a customer configuration which we created, and we will just provide. So this Debezium engine, we need to provide here engine dot, here is a create. Okay, inside it we are going to, what type of parameter it is asking, change event format, right? So change event format dot off, and here we just provide the connect dot class dot using, what we are going to use here, we are going to use our customer configuration connector configuration dot as property. As property we will use it. Okay, then we are going to notify, so notifying this, and make the handle change event. Okay, let me create this method. Okay, dot build. Okay, so this configuration is we provided here, debezium connector configuration. Okay, then this configuration we are using as a property, and then notifying this method. Okay, so this Debezium engine is now configure. Okay, and also let me add some more property for the post construct. Okay, whenever it will run, so private void start, and here we have to provide this executor dot execute, and inside it we have to give the Debezium, so Debezium engine will run. Then at the last, when this will be destroy, then pre-destroy, when this pin will be destroyed, so in that case we need to call this method private void stop. Okay, and here what we have to do, if objects dot non-null, then this dot Debezium engine. Okay, so if this dot Debezium engine is not null, means it is running, then what we are going to do, we are going to close this. Okay, and this will add the exception here, IO exception. Okay, so we are good. Now we will implement what we will do when we got some changes here. Okay, so let's expand this. So here we implement our handle changed event. Okay, so this source code contain all the key and values here, and here it's a struct type, and then record change value is not null. Then so this handle change event method is act as a listener for Debezium recorded change event in a Spring Boot application, and this listener is especially designed to handle event related to change in database table using the Debezium as a CDC, or we can say change data captured. So if we will see here, this method name is contain this record change event as a parameter, and this Debezium capture change as resource record. Okay, instance, and the record change event is provide information about the changes event. then it extract the source record, right? Source record from the record change event. So when we call this record, it will provide us a source record here. Then we are locking it so we can see what is the key and what is the value provided by the source record. Then from the source record, we are just getting the value because we need only the value to insert in our DB or do the other process. So source record change value is have the value from the source record. Then we have then we are going to check is this source record value is null or not null. If it is not null, then we are going to retrieve the operation. Okay, we want to know like this is a insert, it's a create or update or delete. So this operation will return what type of query is headed over the DB. So it can be create, it can be update, it can be delete. So if I will open this and I'll show you this operation. These are the operations we have. Okay, so read, create, in update, delete, truncate and match. So accordingly we can perform other application our operation. Okay, so for now we are just going to check this operation dot read should not be here because we need the delete or insert or update. These three things we required here. So it checked that the operation is not a read operation because listener is interested is handling only the create, okay, update and delete. So in this case, when this will success, then we are just checking that if operation is delete, then we just need a record before, okay, and if it is not delete, then we need the after, because if record is deleted, then after will be the null. So we require only the before, we don't require the after. And if it is inserted, then before will be the null and after have some value. Okay, so in this case and also for the update scenario also, if it is not if it is update, then also we require the after, because in before case after and before have some value, but we need only the after here, okay, for our scenario. So that's why we just add the condition. If it is delete, then we will check only the before, and if it is not delete, if it is an insert or update, then we will check the after only. Okay, then we need to then we are going to extract our payload using this. Okay, and then using this payload, you can see in the customer service we have another method we created, replicate data. Okay, and in the replicate data you can see we are providing the map string customer data, and then we have one envelope dot operation, and inside it we are going to firstly create an object of object mapper so we can easily map our object. Then inside it, this map to customer, here you can see we are just set our data from the map to the customer, and then we are returning the customer data. Okay, so now we have a customer details here. Okay, I also add the debugger. I'll show you all the process, and then we will check if this is a delete operation, then we are going to delete our ID, our record, and in case if it is update or insert, then we are going to save that. So this is a clear-cut operation we are performing here. Okay, and at the last we are going to log. So let me run the application again. Okay, so let me open the master. So we run here, enable the annotation here. So let me run the master application. So it's up and running. Let me do one thing. I'll go in customer and create here. Okay, I'll add the debugger here. Here only this fine. We are in a controller, right? So I'll run in a debug mode. So I'll show you how our debugger will go from one application to another application. Okay, so this one is done. Okay, now go in a slave service application, and I'll run this slave also in a debug. So let it run also. Masters here and master service running here. Okay, and slave service is running here. So replica identity is also run by our Spring application. We don't have to do anything, right? So we are good now. Let's go to the browser and see the work. So let me refresh this, and let me refresh this one also. So as we know that this is a master, this is a slave, so let me firstly validate this again. everything is blank here, and let me validate here also. Try it out, execute it. So everything is good now. Let me post now. Okay, so post it, try it out. So full name is Java Puzzle as usual. Puzzle, then author at javapuzzle.com, and when I hit execute it, so it will go in a master. Okay, master controller. Let me close other. So currently we are in a controller of the master application, and here we will see all the details are here. ID is null because we don't have ID for now. When I will run this, so now it will go in a Debezium listener which is present in the slave application, and here you will see. So here you will see, and when I go below, let me debug mode. Here you will see one record sent during the previous record. Okay, so if I will go below, step over, and you will see these data is showing here. Okay, so ID is 1, email is this, and full name is this. Okay, then I'll go below. So key and value both are coming here. Okay, then we will see this record change, source record change value is coming here with the schema and value. Inside this value we need value here. These are the data. Okay, then go below here and operation. So if you will see, the operation is create. Okay, so create, that means it will go inside it. It's a true. Then we will go here and see here currently record is coming as we need a after, right? So go below. So these are the all detail inside this map. Okay, I'll show you the payload. Inside it there is a 3 details: ID, full name, email. Okay, I will run this, and here you will see it will go inside the save method and it will store the data. So let me validate in the browser, and here you will see updated data is this. These are the detail, and operation is create. And in the browser, let's go in the slave part. Okay, and if I will execute it, here you will see same data is coming. Okay, now let me update it. Okay, so I'll go inside the put method, then I'll try it out, provide the one, and let me copy this value, this one, get it. Okay, this just change here. I don't require the ID here because ID we are provided above, and here I will just change Java puzzle to Savan Kumar and execute, and let me skip this. Okay, and again go in the browser and firstly run. Okay, so it's updated. Now here you will see when I execute this, now you will see the data is changes here. Okay, let me change the email also. So Savan at Java puzzle, execute it, and here if I will execute it, here you will see the email is. Now I will delete it. Okay, and then we will see the data is there on. So try it out. One, execute it, data is deleted here, and if I will again execute this, so no data is present here. So I think this will you understand how this Debezium is work and how we are going to implement in our Spring application. Okay, so hopefully this video is helpful for you, and if you think this video is helpful, then please share with your friend and like and subscribe my channel for the next. Thank you.